fait du mal, toi, tu n'en as jamais fait autant. Moi, chaque jour, je prouve, oui, je prouve, oui, je prouve.
Alright, so self-reflection video. I was thinking to myself, and the realization I came to have was what I should try to do with my family struggles is like try to become immune. Like, I just feel like, okay, you keep having conflicts, like, even if it's not explosive, it's still to the point where it's tiring, it's draining, and I really will forever believe in the fact that sometimes the smallest stressors are worse, because in those smaller stressors, and they're the ones that pile on and on, they're like chronic, they like keep happening over and over. Sometimes that could be more impactful than one really large stressor. And I learned that in my senior year of college. Like, I was in a class for biobehavioral health, talked about stress, and it said that like sometimes having small stressors that occur back to back to back can actually be more detrimental to a person than that larger, more stressful event that occurs like once in a blue or once in a lifetime. Yeah, it hits you and it hits you hard, but it sometimes might not wear and tear on your body the way constant small stressors do. So with that being said, I'm like, okay, these things keep happening. Don't know why, but let me try to see it like this. Maybe, just maybe it's a platform for practice. And I've heard something like that before. I've seen it before. And that was when I read in a book. I don't remember which book it was I read. I don't want to quote the wrong book. And realistically, I'm not about to go searching a whole bunch of books to find out which book said it. But it was like, for those that are religious, like, especially when it comes to home and relationships and stuff, it's like, use your relationship with your family as a platform for practice to your relationships with a significant other. And then I apply my 2 cents in believing that you can also then apply it to all external relationships, significant other, peers, co-workers, acquaintances, whatever, because truly, like, if you're someone that still lives home, like me, you are constantly in that environment. That is the environment that's molding you and shaping you. You're in that environment more than you're with your friends, usually. I mean, it depends on your dynamic of life, but that's like your baseline. So if you can learn to communicate with the ones you live with and cope with the things you feel are crazy that they throw at you, then you're continuously getting that practice and you are able to become immune to them. Then you could take it up a notch. And when you're presented with similar issues from your friends and significant others, you're immune then too. Like, you've already grown accustomed to how to handle it. That's kind of what already has happened. But being honest, like me speaking for myself, I know I can be more patient with people outside my family than those within. I have a lower tolerance for my family. That might be just because it's been continuous issues. And you just go tired of it naturally, like most people will. And then when you meet someone new, I try not to have misplaced anger. I try to give people a fresh-ish slate as best as I can, because apparently sometimes we still carry stuff with us, but I try to be as brand new about it as I can, while of course still taking lessons with me. You're not going to act like you never learned something or whatever about how people may operate. But I feel like sometimes that's kind of what it is. Like, you get raised one way at home and then you apply it in the outside world versus me, it's like kind of the same, but I feel like I have a different surface layer, which is the one I show my peers. But then once they really get to know me, once they really poke at me in a way that I feel like my family already does, then I express myself and cope the same way that I do with family to them. That's when that part gets revealed. And I think I don't see it much because people usually don't get that far with me. But for the ones that do, I feel like I could safely say that I'm being honest when I say I do react and respond pretty similarly. Like, of course, my family's still gonna see more of it because, like, that's just my comfort zone. That's me just feeling like at that point, I say how I feel versus that feeling of hesitance with peers where I'm like, oh, I might not want to jeopardize this bond, so I'm not gonna truly say how I feel or truly express my feelings the way I would like, you know. But that just goes back to saying, like, figure out the best approach that you want to handle these sort of things, and then really keep practicing with this so that you can become immune to their behaviors. You can train your mind to feel like, okay, yeah, person A in my family has a hot temper and tends to then be quick to blame me. I'm going to try not to take it seriously. I'm going to try and realize when I really am wrong and when I'm not, and then realize, okay, it's them. And I'm just either going to laugh, like, why are you bugging out? Or just be like, okay, that's weird. I'm going to go this way. Not even going to entertain that. And just, you know, make lighter of the situation. Not feed into it and be all, why are you blaming me for da 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 da? Like, not feed into that because it's just constantly tearing you down, you know? So taking the lighter approach and continuing to practice with that approach. And then from there, you can feel like, all right, I'm pretty immune to this. So then when person A has this hot temper again, oh, that's just them having their hot temper. There they go, having the hot temper moment. And you just label it as that, or whatever phrase makes you feel better. That's still respectful to them. And you keep it pushing. You keep it pushing and you let it be. And I feel like this is probably a better way to go about it for situations like mine where you feel like you can't really talk to the person. Because I'm learning there are way too many people, more than I like to accept, that you just can't talk to. They are going to just see it how they want to see it. And that's it. You can't really reason with them. Like, and I still struggle with understanding, okay, at that point, really, are they wrong or is it me? So I can't really answer that part. But for now, it's like, either way, the energy don't feel good to me. The energy don't feel good to them. So talking it out, knowing and having had seen before that it just still ends up being the same cycle, you're best off just coping, adapting, and keeping it pushing. And I feel like in doing so, you're not cheating yourself. Because I personally feel cheated when I try to be honest in how I feel about how a person acts. And I feel like I can't really express that because, one, they won't let me, or I limit myself because I don't want to run in circles with them and have things explode. And it's like, so I'm supposed to just bite my tongue. That doesn't feel true to me. But in this instance where you're making lighter of it, it's like that phrase that I've been seeing a lot lately. Like, it's things, situations are only as bad as you choose to perceive it as. So if you choose to perceive it as, okay, yeah, they literally said they're getting mad, but I'm just gonna not take it so seriously. I'm just gonna see it lightly and laugh and be like, okay, they're bugging out. They're having a moment of insanity. Just so that I don't even feel the pressure and obligation of, it's so deep, I need to approach this, I need to discuss this, I need to try and work this out. Like, it's just like, this is a light situation. There's really not much to talk about. We're just gonna brush it off, move away, keep it pushing. Like, and it gets frustrating because it's like when these things keep happening, you're like, you really want to talk it out, to try to work it through so it can just stop. But this comes with certain people are just going to be how they are. And in this situation, you can't, if you can't remove yourself from them, for them to just be how they want to be in their own world, then you got to just try to brush them off as best as you can, still be in your own world, you know, not let their energy seep into your world. Like, I don't know, it's easier said than done. And I'm still, as I'm saying this, it's not like I have mastered this yet. This is me in my mapping stage of this is how I am trying to see it. This is how I feel like it might, I pray to God, work, and we're going to see. But I'm at least talking it out, laying it out, trying to make sense of it. And then we're going to implement it and hope that it works, right? So doing all of that, and then once you feel like, okay, I am now immune to this person in this household, in this environment, I'm immune to their behaviors and the nonsense. All right, cool. Now let me go out and go about my business. And then I meet a peer that has similar mannerisms, trying to get their own way with me. And I'm like, oh, this person thought that they could boss me around. That's cute. No. But it gets trickier though, because when you think of the dynamic of like a parent versus your peer, it's a whole different mindset, right? So you have to try to think like, all right, this is my parent. I'm really just to avoid yelling, getting worked up, saying something disrespectful. This is why it's hopefully be a little easier to not say anything and just brush it off, but not feel like you're not being true to yourself. And then with peers, I don't know about other people, but for me, like, that's what I really, really feel. For both my parents and my peers, I feel obligated to express how I feel, because it's like, if I'm about to call you a friend, I feel like you need to know how I feel that you are approaching me wrongly, and you need to let me know the same, that sort of thing. But yeah, so when trying to implement the same immune approach with your peers, for me, as I'm speaking it out, it feels harder to use the ha or make light of the situation approach because I really would just want to check a person, like, you thought you were bossing me around. But maybe there's a way to make light of it and let them know, set that boundary with them, because I feel like with peers, you really do need to set boundaries. I feel that way, and that's something I really struggle with, like setting boundaries. I feel like they're ones that really need to know, because if not, they will definitely honestly, both them or parents could try and run as far as they can past the boundary if you don't set it, really. So it's just a matter of really molding it to the category of a person and the situation, and taking it from there. So when it comes to peers, I really don't know how best to make light of the scenario. I would have to sit and really try and figure that one out. But I do still feel like it's an approach in the right direction. Like, so I had this one girl, we were all out to eat, and I'm trying to say like, hey, I'll pay for your part and I pay for mine separate, or we all just pay for it separately, because if I try to split the bill, I'm actually jipping myself a good $10, $20. And I can't really have to be money pinching right now. And someone had explained to me later on down the line, like, if they want to spend a whole lot, they don't have to bring themselves down to meet my budget. But I don't need to pull myself up so high in the sense that I'm now jeopardizing my funds at that point in time, which isn't suitable for me. So, me expressing that, all right, cool. Then you have somebody talking about, just pay it. It don't matter. Just pay it before they even know my situation or anything. They're like, we gotta go. Like, just pay it because they rushing us out here. That's where you could make light and be like, they thought they was gonna boss me around. That was cute. But no, this doesn't really work for me. It doesn't really make the most sense for me. So I'll pay my portion separately, or I'll cash app that part, and then y'all could do the math. Like, minus my balance, and y'all could split the rest amongst yourselves and I'll cash app you my portion. Like, but that was a new situation for me. So at the time, I honestly didn't know what to say and I just went ahead and paid it. But no, like, so my throat is itching me. I get allergy attacks like crazy and my room is crazy, like the vents or something. But yeah, so similar approach in that way of making light of it, like not taking it to your soul and internalizing it and getting angry and feeling like, oh, I need to pull this person aside and tell them that what they said was wrong. Like, not even feeling to do all that. Like, literally just, all right, making light of it, but still setting the boundary. Just making light of it and doing what you would do it anyway. Same thing, quite honestly, because that boundary will still be there to say, in this situation, I'm still gonna pay just the amount that I'm due. And say in a hot temper situation with the family member, like, all right, I'm gonna just continue doing what I was doing anyway. So you're mad, all right, cool. But my boundary is I'm not gonna feed into it. So I think that is a good way to look at it. Laugh at it where you can. Like, really try to find the humor in it. And I feel like things will feel so much better. So good luck to us all with these conflicting communication dynamics. But yeah. And I said this before, but I'm the kind of person who is not going to be wanting to worry about how I look, because for me, it's all about what I'm saying, what I'm showing, like anything like that. So, don't got no crust in my don't got no crust in my face. Hygiene's done. I just put the bonnet on because I thought I was gonna take a nap while I iced my knee. I don't match. I don't care if you went to Paddock at daycare. What's up? What's up? Like, and that's really that on that. Like, because these are the sort of things. That's a whole nother video in itself. But I feel like these are the sort of things that hinder you from being your best self. Like, if you spend more time and energy worrying about how to look for a video of value, or what you feel is valuable, what's valuable to you and hopefully to others, then you're already pulling energy from yourself that you want to be putting into the video itself. So yeah, as long as face is decent, hair is decent, then I don't care if I have a bonnet on. I don't care if I have an old summer camp shirt on from when I was 7 years old. I don't care if I don't match. Like, as long as I am okay on my hygiene, skin okay, hair okay, then that's fine. I no longer want to miss out on opportunities to be myself or interact with people, build stronger bonds, speak on valuable content, whether it's through conversation or making a video. I no longer want to withhold myself from that. Hair not all the way done, edges not all the way done, outfits that are old and don't match. Like, listen, I can't bother. God bless me. Okay, so to be grateful and make it work. That's how I feel. So I'm trying to see things like that more and hope that that mindset will open me up to more opportunities. But it still takes a little bit to even get to this point. Like, that's why I can only feel this comfortable, if I'm being honest, because I had a self-care day on Thursday. Did my eyebrows, did my face. I've been working really hard on my skin so that acne comes and goes, but the scars are at least fading. So with all that, I feel okay enough to at least be to this point. It's like, okay, I did the work. Let me stop limiting myself so much now. God blessed me with these magical skills to do my hair myself, to the point where, like, this hairstyle, like, I haven't really tried a whole bunch of hairstyles, but I'm trying to work my way up. And at least I was able to do a bunch of box braids on my own, where, like, yeah, even if my hair was looking crusty, I could put a bonnet on. But anybody with natural hair knows that sometimes the bonnet look crazy even on natural hair if it's so dry of a fro that you can't even shrink it, like where you had it up, but now it's just so dry and stiff and crusty, dusty, busty. Like, no. So at least I was able to put in some box braids you know, so it's chilling. I got worried about it too much, you know, or slide the bonnet on just as fine, like, you know. So with those things handled, I feel like I'm more allowed to be myself, and I appreciate that. So that's everything I gotta say. Y'all take care. The peace sign really isn't for me, but I don't have a better sign off, so